to the rocks in the background. Story about Monument Valley, Arizona, and other places on the earth. What a funny looking butte in the background, huh? Flat like that. I saw Monument Valley, and I named it the Valley of the Kings back in 1977. Same trip where I became a rain dancer in Tucson, Arizona. In between Tucson and Phoenix, along Highway 10, which travels from southeast in the state to north central, north west toward the Four Corners. Look at that. This picture doesn't really do it justice, but look at that. Okay, rise up. Yeah, I called it the Valley of the Kings. I just recently learned it's called Monument Valley. I was impressed by it. Now, I never quite saw it look like this, but what I saw, it seemed to be stretching for 20 miles, man. These giant buttes that were all flat at the top. I thought it was the teeth of an old mountain range. It's just more proof that the Bible is true. The Bible is true, but stuff of this is only really talked about in the Apocrypha. There's a little mention of the great trees in the Bible. But anyway, I'm going to keep going with this. In fact, this is the shot I was searching for when I went looking. See how it says the visual argument does not require commentary? That's a view from the top of one of these buttes, all right? Okay, that's a tree. That's a petrified tree. It was covered with seawater for 180 days. And as we learned at Mount St. Helens Spirit Lake in 1980, trees that get knocked down and the root ball is still heavy or sink to the bottom of the lake, they start petrifying a lot quicker than pseudoscience would have you think. Now, this is what I saw. This is like what I saw when I was there. Along Highway 10 in the desert, hitchhiking, in between Tucson and Phoenix in 1977. But you would see these things as far as you could see. I thought they were the teeth of an old mountain range, like the precursor to the Rockies. They were so ancient that they were like decaying molders of mountains, if you could consider mountains as teeth. Like I said, they're mentioned in the Apocrypha. I got this just by researching it on YouTube. Those pictures. And I always wondered what they were, and I'm like, wow. Drawn from the ancient apocryphal legend of the Book of Enoch, this narrative tells the story of the Creator sending obedient angels to fell the earth's colossal trees, trapping the rebellious giants and their pollinators on the ground before the cataclysmic floodwaters rose. Before the Great Flood, the earth was a realm of impossible scale. Colossal luminous trees with canopies that pierced the firmament, stretched for miles, acting as natural pillars between the heavens and the earth. Their wood was harder than iron, and within their sprawling labyrinthian branches lived a host of pollinators, giant radiant beings. But wickedness is spread across the mortal realm, corrupting the giants and the corrupted ones who sought to escape the coming divine judgment. The Creator called upon the highest echelons of the heavenly hosts. At the forefront was Archangel Michael, flanked by hundreds of obedient angels. They were given a singular grave decree: fell the great trees of the world, level the ancient pillars so that none may climb to safety, and cheat the floodwaters. Descending upon the plains, the angels went to work. Today, the desert of Monument Valley, Arizona, serves as a stark reminder of their monumental task. Where endless skyscraping forests once swayed, the obedient angels swung blades of divine light, searing the trunks and severing the massive branches. The pollinators, who had previously built their grand hives and lived peacefully in the upper canopies, found their sanctuaries crashing down. As the raging dark waters of the flood swept across the dry land, the severed trunks became heavily petrified by the rushing mud and sediment, turning to stone. The angels efficiently cut the massive monoliths to a height where they could no longer be climbed. Remember, it went 40 feet above the tallest mountains, like K2 and whatnot. The great towers of Monument Valley and the high mesas stand as the ancient, petrified stumps of those felled trees. And now it all makes sense to me. Left behind as silent testament to the absolute obedience of the angels and the inescapable depths of the deluge. And no wonder they have waterfalls coming from them, because imagine the massive depth of the roots tapping into the tremendous amount of water they must have needed, right? And here's some more pictures. Oh, sorry, okay. The way they just crumble, and the geometric patterns, and the rings. The rings is a dead giveaway from the top. That's a petrified tree, my friend. There's the old surveyors. Looks like a stump, doesn't it? It is. Yep, it's a stump. And that picture from the top again. See the rings? I'm mistaken what that is now, huh? And of course, the institutions don't want this to be known, because every institution that does any good at all is always infiltrated by evil. Obviously. Why, every benevolent, charitable organization of man is always infiltrated by the enemy. Always. And what did God say? What's the rainbow signify? That he wouldn't cover the earth with water again, but next time he'll burn it all up, destroy it by fire.